welcome to another episode of Realty at the Closing Table. We are your hosts, Kiana, Shanae, and Mary. Let's get into it. So we have been receiving a lot of inquiries, questions, DMs, everything, right? Emails about where do you start when you want to purchase a home? How do I qualify to purchase my first home? So let's talk about that today. So I always hear people say their biggest concern when purchasing a home is credit. To me, the first thing that you need to be thinking about is money, right? Because you have to have funds to close. Even when you hear about down payment assistance programs, you hear about first-time home buyer programs, all of those different programs only give you a certain amount of funds. So you have to have money. So building that savings account is going to be one of the biggest first hurdles that you want to overcome. And then also,
with regard to the savings account, please make sure your accounts stay out of the red. We don't want to bounce checks. We do not want to go into the negative. When you're saving up those good coins, we also want to be really, really careful about those large cash deposits. So I know, grandma gave us $20,000 for our birthday and we've been keeping it in the house.
Underneath your mattress.
Because we don't trust the banks. That money has to be in your bank account. It's a process that we call seasoned. So you need to have money sitting in your account for 60 full days before you can ever send me a bank statement. So when I ask for your two most recent bank statements, you want money seasoned in your bank account. If I see that $20,000 cash deposit, I have to ask you where it came from. You're going to have to tell me that, well, my grandmama, and then she, So if you cannot tell me where it came from, we can't use it.
So Shanae, a lot of times I have buyers that reach out who are beauticians, right? They're hairdressers, they're nail techs, and they're accepting all of these payments via Cash App.
Yes.
Can they use Cash App statements? Does Cash App have statements where they can use it and transfer it to their bank account to say that this is where the funds are coming from?
Yes, so it needs to be done in a memo. So you're going to tell me Kiana's shampoo, MJ's, hairstyle, so that you are showing a record of when this money left Cash App and went into your bank account, this $10,000 is from all of these transactions. That is fine.
So when I'm working with a beautician, she needs to make sure that her clients are putting on her Zelle payments, on her Cash App payments, exactly what the payment is for.
Or she needs to be giving them receipts.
Okay.
Because I don't know that I have Zelle my hairstylist, but that's
I Zelle my hairstylist. I just Zelle my hairstylist Sunday for my kids, right? I just Zelle them.
That Zelle can be sourced. It's that we're paying in cash, and now our hairstylist is going into the bank on Monday with $5,000 cash, and no record of I got it from doing hair. Okay, maybe. So the government wants to be all in your business.
Paper trail is definitely important.
Paper trail, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you were right. People think that it does start with credit, and I used to think that it did too. But like you said, if you don't have any money to add to this transaction, you're going to have a problem.
You can have A1 credit, but if you don't have funds, we can't close.
We're a little short.
We can't close.
Yeah.
So let's dibble dabble on. Let's talk about credit for a minute. So your credit score, a lot of people reach out and they say, oh, well, I seen someone else say I only need a 580 credit score, or oh, I seen somebody say I have a 540 credit score. There are some banks that will qualify you for a 580 or below credit score, but what people don't understand is your interest rate is going to be extremely high, and then you also have to come to the table with a larger amount of down payment.
Well, not only that, just because you can do it doesn't mean you're going to get approved. So, you know what I mean? I can afford a BMW. It does not mean I can walk into BMW and based off of their stipulations qualify for that, be it 0% financing or whatever it is that they are offering.
Right, because when people don't read the fine print, right? So we do a lot of times on social media, we put out, hey, I have this lender who can pre-approve you with a 580 credit score, but we're not going into details of what you have to qualify. Yes, you need a 580 credit score, but then you also have to have 20% down payment.
You also might need 36 months of reserves saved up in the bank.
Right, a lower DTI than if you were to have a 640 credit score and you can go with a 48% DTI. It may have to be lower.
Right? You know what you're talking about.
I'm here.
Okay. I'm about to start showing houses because
Clearly.
But no, you're absolutely right. There are different programs that say with the 580 and 20% down and 30 months of reserve, 36 months of reserves, you can move forward. There are, like we talked about several times, situational transactions, because nobody's transaction is going to be the same. You might have a 620 because you just filed bankruptcy, you're bouncing back from your bankruptcy, and you want to put down 20%, and you've got $50,000 in the bank. We'll be able to work with that versus you have a 620 just because you've been late on your debt, so your score has dropped from a 680 to a 620, and you've only got $33 in the bank. And
well, can we touch on reserves a little bit? Because I actually just had a closing last week, and I found out this is the first transaction that I've ever had where the lender let me know that the reserves can be accounted in 401k.
Yes,
so it doesn't have to actually be in your bank account. It
just
can
have to
be
have
accounted
access
for
to it.
401k. Right.
And when we're looking at your 401k, we take 60% of what that balance is.
Okay. So to me, I think it's building that savings account, your credit score,
full transparency with whomever you're working with,
and then your DTIs. People always hear DTI, and a lot of times they don't even know what that stands for. So DTI is your debt to income ratio.
Yes, ma'am.
And you guys are calculating that based on.
I'm telling you, Kiana, I think Kiana is the lender because she knows all my business.
I educate all of my clients.
I'm like, Kiana, like, so debt to income ratio. Right. So listen, when it comes to ratified contracts, what you do is So yeah,
I educate my clients before I send them to my lender. So then that way my lender can have everything that they need and they're already ready. Yep. So then we can just get that letter and then
keep it moving.
Because once I find a house, I'm shipping them off to you. Don't ask me no more questions.
21-day closings. Let's go. So yes, debt to income ratio. So we take a look at your current debt mixed with your current income. So that determines how much debt you have based off of your income. So now we do look at what we call a front end ratio and a back end. So we look at your present debt and income, and then the back end is if we are to add that new mortgage payment to it. Right. So that back end, if we're going FHA, really needs to be at or around preferably under 56%. But if you're going conventional, then that we lose a lot of room in there. We want to be somewhere between 45 and 46%. Oh, okay. But now your credit score, where that comes into play, is somebody who has a high debt to income ratio and a 580 credit score, you're not going to get approved. Even though FHA may say you can go up to a 57% debt to income ratio, we lend down to a 580, and you don't have no money in the bank. Not with that high.
It's risky.
It's very risky. Very risky. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any more lender questions you want to ask?
What programs do you offer?
So, of course we have the traditional FHA and, conventional, but my favorite programs are the ones that we offer that like really help our self-employed buyers. So we have 1099 programs, we have the bank statement loan programs, and that saves a lot of people because, we'll just say from the pandemic, a lot of people have gone on to kind of start their own business. And we're telling people we need 2 years of income, and if you haven't been in business for 2 years, that your self-employed income won't work. Well, we have a bank statement program where we can take anywhere between 12 and 24 months of your bank statements, and we will average the income in your bank statements as opposed to that fluctuating income on your tax return. So my favorite right now is definitely the bank statement program. It's been a difference for a few clients.
Mine too, because for agents like myself, I want to, I'm going back and forth if I want to use my house as a rental property and then purchase a brand new home, or sell my property and then purchase a new home. I just know I want to move, right? And becoming a full-time agent last year, that loses my W-2. And I don't want to wait 2 years, right, to pay myself to be able to purchase a new home with the W-2, because now as an entrepreneur, I would have to either pay myself or do a bank statement loan. So the bank statement loan actually comes in my favor and it helps me. Yes, I do have to put a larger lump sum down. I just have to prepare myself for it.
And depending on how far away you move from your current house, you still might be able to qualify for a first-time homeowner as a first-time home buyer. using the FHA program.
Right, and still keep my home and be able to rent it out.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And that'll be my first investment property.
Yes. Cheers
Can
to
you
real
rent your-
estate investment.
Never mind. So you can't rent your FHA home out.
You
have to
legally
refinance
cannot.
it?
I have to refinance
Okay.
it. I have to refinance it under conventional, and then I'll be able to purchase again. Well, still, if I move, depending on how far I move, I can do another FHA loan, but I can't rent it out under FHA.
And that's the same thing people don't know when they want to do those down payment assistance programs. You can't turn your house into an Airbnb or an investment property. You got to refinance it and pay back that down payment assistance.
Right.
And then it becomes your house.
Right.
But until then, that thing belongs to the government. You can't do anything fun. Nothing. So let's see. What have we told them, Key? Make sure that you have money saved.
Yes.
Just to kind of piggyback on credit, please don't co-sign for nobody. I get it. Your sister needs a car. Sorry, sis, I can't help you. Oh, your mama needs. Sorry, mom, I'm not gonna be able to take out that loan for
Right.
you. Because everybody should be on one accord with what your personal goals are. And if your goal is to buy a house, you cannot co-sign for anybody. You need to keep your accounts out of the negative. And don't
No
quit your job.
overdrafts.
No overdrafts.
overdrafts.
Yep.
No overdrafts.
Did we mention no
Don't apply for
overdrafts?
any credit.
Apply for.
Don't
any
apply
loan.
for anything. Once you complete that loan application, that's it.
Yes.
As you shop around because you heard that Rocket Mortgage was going to be able to do something better, you're getting inquiries on your credit score, on your credit report. You are lowering your credit score, and the underwriter is
Now,
going
I
to want
do
to know what
believe in
that's
shopping
about.
around, and it only
No,
affects
that's
their
good.
credit score once. So, what I do tell my buyers, make
So
sure
that's
we're
not
doing
true.
it within
It doesn't
14
hit
days.
as hard. You will still get an inquiry. It's just that it does not hit the same way.
Yeah, they'll
that
get
it
the
does.
inquiry,
Yes.
but it won't affect their score.
So how many inquiries will it take for it to start to affect? Because you could shop around. You could be looking
Well,
for
it's
your
the
house
same
for
thing as long
months.
as it's a mortgage, because that's the same like with a car. So when you're shopping around for the car rate, it only affects your credit once. The inquiries are still going to be on there. So it will look like you have a ton of inquiries. Like if you ever applied for a loan like CarMax,
Y'all
they shop you
don't
out.
listen to Kiana. I mean, it's cute and all, but just don't be shopping around because that's a lot. So I mean,
Shop around.
definitely shop your
around.
lender, but
Yes.
once, and that's just to see who you like. Everybody in the world does not need to be able to pull your credit score. I mean, to be able to pull
I
your credit.
believe in shopping around for 3 lenders because everybody offers different programs and
Listen to
and
what
the
I'm
interest
saying.
rate.
You don't need to have your credit pulled to
For
talk
me.
to lenders and to hear different
For
products.
me, I don't even want my clients or my potential clients to be getting their credit run without getting a feel of the lender that I
Exactly.
have either referred
So
you
you
to
interview
or-
your lenders.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's not just, and that's why I'm like, if they want to send you an application, you want to talk to them first because
Yeah. Right.
they want to know, what you offer. Get some background information first, and then apply with them if that's what you want to do. So
You
But
talk
it
to
comes
them
down
about
to your interest rates too, because I've had multiple clients come to me
but
and
an
they are
interest rate is
with.
something that anybody
Hold
can
on.
give you,
But
based
they-
off of products.
Hold on,
Okay.
because when I have clients that come to me who have been with, they come to me with a pre-approval for Bank of America or Navy Federal. The interest rates are super high. So I'm like, hey, apply with my preferred lender because I know they can give you a better interest rate. So it depends on the situation, but I do believe in my buyers shopping around depending on what rate they're getting when they come to me. Now, if they come to me straight off the bat, then I'm going, here, use my preferred lender, and we're not
She
shopping around.
lying. She's sending y'all to 2 other people, y'all. She already told us. She told us.
In my welcome book, I have 2 lenders. You choose who you want to choose. But these are my 2 lenders. And I say apply with both and see what they can give you because everybody's situation is different.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that everybody has different loan programs. We just try to make sure people aren't having their credit pulled all over the place.
Right,
'Cause that
yeah.
really could be the
Right.
difference between your 620 when I pull it versus the 630 you could have had if you did not, let Navy Fed and Bank of America and Rocket Mortgage pull it
And I say this much, after you start shopping for homes, don't apply for another mortgage.
for anything.
That needs to be situated before we even hit the ground because I have to build that rapport. Like I have my preferred lenders who I'm saying, hey, I'm going to send you Jonathan's application. They're going to fill out the application. I need you to work on that. and then she's going to go ahead, she's going to make sure I get that pre-approval letter by the end of the day, or at least next day, as long as my buyer is on track with turning all the documents, which I'm trying to prepare them before I even hand them over to you. And then once we have that letter, we're just moving. Yeah, we can touch on documents a little bit. So
yeah,
people
and
are
you do
prepared.
that. You do that so that, like you said, you have a relationship with those lenders already. So
Right.
you know how they work. You know that they're going to be on time. You know that they're going to process and keep the flow going of the home buying process. So
Agreed.
that's
So once you complete the application, the documents that I will request, of course, your driver's license, 2 most recent bank statements. We went over that. If you are a 1099 employee, I will ask for your 2 most recent 1099s, 2 most recent tax returns. If you are a W-2 employee, just your 2 most recent W-2s. So we're in 2022. That would be 2020 and 2021. 3 most recent bank statements, and any place where your cash from closing is coming from. So it could be your 401k statement. It could be a gift letter because mom, dad, or sister is going to give you some gift funds. So we will review all of that. It does take me about an hour to just look through everything, give you a pre-approval amount, and I'll have that letter back to you and the client.
Yes. So I want to touch a little bit on the funds, right?
Okay.
So for FHA, if your parents are giving you a gift, they have to show their bank statement showing that money in there for 60 days as well.
But we can always just wire money right over to the title company, and then that kind of takes that middleman out. So your
Okay.
parents wouldn't even give you the money. They're going to wire that directly to the title company, day of closing.
When they do that, do they still have to show documentation?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, you're good.
okay.
Mom and dad is good.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Mary lives by 10 commandments. So what are your 10 commandments of your don'ts for your clients?
Don't apply for new credit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Quit your job. We were talking about
don't
that.
quit your job.
Don't leave your job.
Please don't quit your job.
I don't.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, this wasn't me.
I was like, they were kind of my 10 commandments.
Right.
You were married all day.
I'm like, I mean, I do have
She
to
was
commandments,
married.
but they wasn't ready.
So what do you? Okay, so run me your 10 commandments.
So, I mean, we've definitely gone over quite a few of them. Thou shalt not quit your job. Thou shalt not co-sign for anyone. Thou shalt not allow your bank account to go into the negative. Thou shalt not have an attitude when your realtor
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I got a lot of things.
mortgage person needs all of your questions. So we pretty much touched on all of them. So
Okay. Well, guys, if you are ready to purchase a home, you know how to
Put the link in the
contact
bio.
us. Yes.
We'll send you
Link
the
in the
commandments
bio.
if you request it.
right, send us a DM. We'll send you the whole 10. The
All right,
whole
make sure
10.
you guys follow us on Instagram, Realty at the Closing Table. DM us. We'll send you over Shaunae's application and over my other lender application.
Ooh, shade.
I used 3.
So we can get you guys qualified for a mortgage. But thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next week.